What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Cargo again, and in the background you'll see I'm playing some more IVI or Infantry versus Infantry if you haven't watched my last video. And I'm still enjoying it a lot. I don't play it a whole lot, but I do enjoy it when I play it. But anyways, nothing has really happened with this game mode. You know, people try doing it, and it doesn't work out because there's always a couple of dicks who mess it all up. And at this point, there's nothing you can do about it until they come out with a patch that would allow you to essentially customize the loadouts, like vehicles, spawn times, buildings, and that kind of stuff, more specifically than you can already. But anyways, the patch is coming out soon, and I'm sure most of you have already seen this, but I thought I'd just go over it for those of you who haven't. And I don't know, there's some, most of the changes are really good, but there's some that either do too much or don't do enough, or something like that. So first off, we've got the auto turret is dismantling twice as fast, so that's when you're knifing it, it destroys faster. And that's good because it was kind of a canned animation that you would get killed a lot while on top of it, especially if there's other turrets around, or if there's somebody shooting you. Now, naturally, if you're on top of a turret and there's a guy right next to you, there shouldn't be a reason why he shouldn't be able to shoot you, but it was just a little too long, so that's definitely a good change. They updated the player danger icons and logic for server list, and this wasn't a big deal, but it was, I don't know, it wasn't working out perfectly, so of course that's a good patch. And then skill score is now factored in for matchmaking, which is awesome because, well, actually, I honestly don't know who does the matchmaking. I always just go straight to the server list and pick out one from there, but that would be good because it would be horrible for you to be getting matched with somebody who's either way below you or way above you. Player complaint system, which is good. You know, I don't know how effective it's actually going to be, but it's good if somebody is always trolling people out there that they'll get reported for that because they do make the game less enjoyable for everybody else. Next, we have the Hawk homing missile thrust delay reduced by 50%. Thank gosh, this missile was useless, like absolutely useless from air to air. So, yes, that was direly needed because you'd always launch your missile, and then a full half second later, then it would actually shoot towards them, and by that time they would have already dropped their chaff or, you know, maneuvered out of the way of it. So that's good. The homing missile was also had its target acquisition speed increased, so that means by 70%, so that's actually pretty huge. We'll see if that matters at all, because the strategy, of course, with that's going to be you get right on their tail, lock on, and shoot, and then they're pretty much done for. So we'll see how that one works out, but I'm glad that they increased the target acquisition speed. The homing missile max speed has also been increased, so, I mean, going along with the other two patches, it just took a long time to get to the enemy, and by that time, you know, they'd already maneuvered out of the way. And next, they fixed the Hawk cloak time. Now, I don't know whether it'd be fixed or not, but they reduced the time by 33%, so you can't stay cloaked as long. That's, you know, I haven't really had an issue with it. Obviously, other people were. And the issue would be that somebody can just stay cloaked for ridiculously long amounts of time, and you have no idea where they went, and then they're right on your tail. Whereas the stealth was really supposed to be used if you don't have any defenses left, and you can just hit the cloak, and then you can get out of the way and land or something like that. Not to, you know, sneak away and then end up behind them as well. That was just a little bit overpowered. They also reduced the shield damage absorption by 50%. And, you know, I don't know if I totally agree with this one, because on one hand, it's ridiculous when you're getting spawn camped, and then a Hawk can just drop down on you with its shield on, and it takes 4 rockets for the Hawk to die. Because, I mean, unless you're spawning with a rocket launcher, there's no way you're going to be able to kill that thing, and it'll just step on you or kill you with one of its missiles or guns. So that's one side of the argument. You know, it's not fair. But on the other hand, you know, it is really nice for air-to-air combat, and it's going to really, really reduce the effectiveness of the shield in air-to-air combat, which is not good. And also, you know, on the other hand, when you are fighting on those ground troops, there's almost no way you can engage them unless you have cluster bombs or a fly-by-wire missile. And I don't know. So I mean, now the cluster bomb and the fly-by-wire missile are going to be the only really good way to engage ground troops, and that's not something that I wanted to see. But we'll see how it goes. Now, finally, to the cluster bomb. They nerfed the heck out of the cluster bomb. They the damage fall-off increase, so that means that the blast radius is going to be less, or as you get farther away from the epicenter of the bombs, it'll do less damage. The blast area reduced, so the total area that the blast affects has been reduced. And then the damage has been reduced by 40%. And this is good, because, of course, as everybody knows, that thing is ridiculous. It was way too easy to destroy many people and buildings, and it just was really, really dumb. So yes, good fix there. I'm sure nobody would disagree, except for the people who rely on the cluster bomb to get all the kills. Those people, I'm sure, are really, really angry. Then next, there are a bunch of changes to the Ox tank. The construction cost increased to 4. The accuracy has been reduced. It has a slower rate of fire, blast damage reduced, and the direct hit damage reduced. And I don't know if this is going to help at all, really, because the problem wasn't that, you know, the tanks were too powerful. It was just the problem that everybody had a tank. So I honestly think they should have increased the cost of it by more, so it's way more expensive. Well, I mean, I would say 5 as opposed to 4 would be a good number, because it's not quite half, but it's still a lot. And then keep all the weapons the way it is, because you want it to be powerful and expensive. You don't want to just nerf it all and then still have everybody running around in tanks. You know, that's kind of pointless. The field mechanics skill auto repairs Hawks more slowly. That's good for obvious reasons, because you could take a hit, just dodge for, 15 seconds, and then you would be at full health again, so that's good. And they also decreased the outpost from 8 to 4, which is also good because that cost way too much for the actual utility that it had. Now, that is pretty much all on that front. They said they were going to try and fix some things so people can't base ravage, as they call it, to be politically correct, and as I like to call it, base raping, which is how normal people call it. And I am not sure how they plan to fix that, but hopefully it's good, because I'm still getting frustrated by that, and it's just ridiculous. 4 out of 5 games I'm getting base raped. So hopefully they fix that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Keep calm, Super Champion.